everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to quilt our flying geese black and white queen size quilt. So we've been working on this for a few videos now and the top is complete. For those of you that watched the last video, yes, I did take off a row so it is smaller because it was huge. I went to an op shop, which is a thrift store in Australia. It was a Vinnie's, the massive Vinnie's on Montague Road in West End, Brisbane. And I found a white sheet to use as my back fabric. This is just a cheaper way instead of using quilting fabric. I also really like it because the sheets are really soft. So you always get a nice soft back on your quilt. And then for wadding, I got this great deal from Spotlight in Australia. It is a cotton wadding. And I got this whole bolt for only $80. It was usually $200. So there is enough to do like it's probably enough to do 4 queen size, but I like my queens bigger than queens. So it's enough for me to do 3 queens, and then I'll have enough for some smaller projects, which I'm going to make some quilted European pillowcases to match this quilt. The other thing I need for this process is safety pins. So the first step is putting your backing on the table. So we want the good side, the right side, to be facing the table. This is lovely and big. So I look at, obviously, the hem and I make sure that the right side is facing down. I still have a big crease there. Oh well, it won't matter. Just stretch that out. So I line it up so it's straight and pretty even. Let's move it over a little bit. Okay. Oh, it still looks creased. That's because I folded it on the way down from my ironing board to here. Do I care about that? I do care about that. I'm gonna go get my ironing board and iron it right here in the lounge room and then spread it out straight away. Oh, it's a bit slippery. So I didn't tell you how much this cost. You can see how much fabric there is, and it was $7. Okay, so we have the backing down. Next, I open up my wadding. Actually, what we'll do is just like throw that on the floor, and then we need to open this up. With your wadding, if you feel it, there's like a softer side and a prickly side. So I put the prickly side down. Although, wouldn't it make sense to put the soft side down because that's going to be against your body? Probably. This is the way I've done it. You could cut your wadding first, but I actually don't know exactly how big my quilt is. Wonderful. So I turned off the video and just made sure that everything was perfectly flat, because I was worried that back sheet was sliding around so much. So I've sort of pulled at it around each corner. I've sort of felt very carefully to see if there's any creases. So I'm pretty happy that it's all flat now in the right position. With the wadding, now that that's heavier, that will stay in position while I put the quilt top on. So we'll do that next. Now it's wider than it's long. So what I might do first is just check if I've got enough width to, oh, I will. So I'm going to do it long ways. Oh, sorry. I'm going to put the width over the width. I don't think that makes sense. Basically, I want to not waste any wadding, so I'm going to position it so that the width of my wadding gets used, yes, before my length. That's what I want to do. Okay, so let's do that. I can see I've got plenty of room down this side, and I've got plenty of room down this side, so it's not going to be a problem. This dining table is brilliant size, isn't it? It's also great for having people over, but having a massive table to do quilting on is also great. Okay, look at that. Oh, I'm so happy with that quilt. I've never made an only black and white quilt before. This is my first. Always had colour. So I know that this table length is a good length for my queen size quilts. That's how I can measure them, because this fits the bed. Must be the same length as my bed. Okay. So using your hands, pushing from the centre out to make sure it is lying flat. Okay, wonderful. Now we get our safety pins. Okay, the next step is safety pin your 3 layers together, and I create a pattern in my mind of how I'm going to evenly space them. So for this one, I'm going to do, I'm not going to do every second one because I don't think I'll have enough safety pins for that. I'll probably do every 3rd one. So I have just put one in here, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and put another one in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, put one in here. And then when I get to another row, I'll start somewhere in the middle. I've got 2 in the middle, that's all right. I'll just put it in this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, put one in here. So now this is all pinned at the top of the table. We need to move it to pin the rest. So it should all move together because it's pinned together. So I just take all layers in my hand and pull it over. And then re-flatten, recheck, pull out, and then pin that area. And then pull it again, reset, recheck, and pin that area. On this side I am pinning very close to the edge as well, and pretty much on every one, so that the sides are completely down. So I'll just continue this process, checking, pulling. I give it a little pull, both layers. I flatten with my hand, I go from the center out and slide, okay, and then pin. So I finished pinning. Now I'm just going to cut off the end and it'll be time to quilt it. I'm just going to leave a few inches, 2 or 3. There are a few things I'm going to do before I start quilting. I'm going to give my machine a good clean out. I'm going to change the needle to a brand new needle. I am going to attach my walking foot. For this quilting, we are only doing straight stitch with a walking foot because it's easier, it's quicker, and in my opinion, a good quilt is finished quilt. I don't want to muck around with free motion quilting. That's not my vibe. I'm also going to be creating a few bobbins of white because I'm going to have a white underneath and black on top. When I started this video, it was Saturday morning and now it's Sunday evening. It took me a few hours of quilting each day. I am really happy with the result. The big squares of quilting mean that it's still quite fluffy, it's not too flat, and the sheet on the back is so soft. I think my son is really going to love this quilt. And next week we are doing the binding and then it will be finished.